Lloyd, do you have anything at this time?
I have one question. I was surprised when I got stuff in the mail here at the office. But I was really more surprised when I found out it was open. Did we do that for everyone?
What kind of mail did you get? Mail
We
here?
got a Christmas card,
Oh,
and a letter from the league, I guess.
Oh,
That's all I had.
Okay, thank you. Matt, anything? Charlene? Mr. Brown?
What? Oh, no.
My card had a $50 bill in it this year.
No.
I didn't
Is
have
that all you got? Was that it?
No, I want to thank the city for inviting us to the Christmas party. Really enjoyed it. It's a great meal and really appreciate it.
Had a good turnout.
Yeah. Yeah, a good turnout.
Thank you. Tony?
I got a couple of questions about Glenn's report here. I don't know if now or later, you tell me.
You can, why don't you ask him when he gets up there?
Okay.
It'd be a good time. Bob?
I'm just sorry I missed the Christmas party, but I did get good news that night. My boy came from his job to let me know that he's cancer-free now.
All right.
And he's
That's good.
working with his tractor again, and that made a pretty good Christmas present for me.
Yeah, that would be good. Katie, do you have anything at this time?
Just one small thing. Code is coming, I promise. Nicole told me today it is ready to go this week, and then I told her that we have a potential ordinance coming tonight. So, if it's approved, I'll send that to her in the morning, so hopefully next meeting we'll have a code for you to vote on, and a long, drawn-out process will be over. So, that's it for tonight.
Okay, thank you. Glenn?
So what do you got there, Tony? Start there.
Go through this here. Number 11 here, we're gonna start making plans for the geometric improvement on 14 here in January.
Right.
Now just as I read that, are we getting the cart ahead of the horse? Don't we have to have the landowner sign off before we?
We do, but the engineer has to plan, because we have to submit those to KDOT, and that has to be approved by them before we can actually go to bid. So we're doing both at the same time. And moving along on both of them.
If this is all right, okay?
Yeah.
And then 15 here about are we just still gathering information for the possibility of a gas line to the power plant, or?
Yeah, I haven't gotten any more information forward holiday.
I guess collecting information is all we're at the moment, I mean.
Well, I'm actually waiting for a proposal from Black Hills Energy. Met with them in Wichita about 2 months ago, and they said they'd send a proposal up to us. So that was a little before Thanksgiving, so they've had enough time. I'm not sure why they haven't sent anything yet, so.
Are they gonna be the only bidder on that project?
No, I just wanted to have one to compare with what Kansas Gas had quoted us 2 or 3 different times on there, so I decided, let's hear from another vendor and see. Because the 2 that they given us were very wide apart, so.
Thank you.
I got a question on that number 5. With Linda and work, you say it's on schedule. What's the date ending on that contract?
Oh, you talking about down here at the
Yeah.
whole house and all that?
Yeah, you say it's on
Yeah, I
schedule.
don't know off the top of my head. I can check with.
I appreciate the
Doug on that,
information.
Yeah, and see what they're on there. They did talk to me last week about that. Okay.
Okay, anything else, Glenn? You?
No, that's okay.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda from the December 16th meeting and the December 18th meeting on appropriations 1A.
Question for Chief.
On the accounts payable on page 2 of 11, I have a question on, for the sewer distribution, Muckmaster, Camel Muck. Jim, can you tell me what
Yeah,
that is?
Charlene, I checked into that because I seen it also. That was, excuse me, that was actually for 2 pair, and they're a real tall, heavy-duty insulated boot for when they're down in the sewage.
Yeah, that's.
So they are kind of expensive.
Okay. And the
And
bib and the
the
coat?
camel color was the only thing we could get in their sizes.
I see. And the bib and the coat, who did those go to?
New employees, I can't tell you specifically which one. I
Okay.
think Dustin Spalding.
Okay. And then, a couple more, and then I'll quit. On page 5 of 11, 5241, 6,000, supplies. Can we get a little more information as to what those supplies are? Whenever we have supplies on here, I've done these before, and I'd like to see a little more information than just supplies. Like file folders or whatever, telling us what those were. And then on Granger, on page 6, this is for the water plant hooded suit.
That is the disposable suits that we put on when we're dumping carbon. Carbon is real fine powder, gets everywhere, and, I mean, you're just totally covered in black unless you have one of these. It's like a hazmat suit, but a cheap disposable type.
Yeah, okay. I thought that's probably what it was. And I think that's all. Yeah, that's all the questions I have concerning that.
Okay, Lloyd?
I had a question about, on page 6 also, Gary County Community Hospital. Do we have to go that far to get an employment physical?
Typically on that, if they're out of town before they make it, we always let them get their own. We have in the past.
Okay. And on page 8 of 11, I was just curious what we got 3 decks of cards for.
That was a poker walk we did for the activity here in the gym.
Okay, thanks.
You didn't get an invitation to that
Must have been a high dollar
You
one.
lost out on a $50 bill.
I guess another question I have on that same deal as Lloyd. Do we still contract with the consortium for our drug testing?
Yeah, they changed their name to Team HC, I believe.
Okay.
To what?
So,
Team H?
TMC or something.
Yeah.
TMHC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
TMHC.
hey, don't they, when we have an employee, a possible new employee, they can't come back here for their drug testing. So, do you call and say, this guy lives in Junction City, is there a place close that the consortium works with that he can go to, say like this Geary County Hospital, do his drug test and his physical test? And then they get the results and then send the results back to you?
I never really handled it that way.
I can actually address, that's what I did when I first came. I did it in Jackson County, because that's where I was at the time.
At
So,
the time, yeah.
So I went to the hospital there, and they did everything they did here,
Yeah.
and report that back to
But
them.
if, say, if that person
Right.
was here in town,
Right.
someone from the consortium
They come here.
would come here
Yes,
and
they come
take the
actually
test.
down here,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And we also send them up to the hospital too,
Mhm.
you know, if it's just one.
Just one?
Yeah.
But if somebody's from out of town, or whatever, then they have the option to do that.
Yeah. I remember that we had one employee that we had to find, I mean, he was out of state, and we had to, the consortium had to find a place for him to go that would take, that they would work with
Yeah.
to, you know,
Yeah, we
they're
run-
kind of
Yeah,
sticky.
I know we run into that with some of the other employees
Yeah.
that I've dealt with.
Yeah.
I have one more question on accounts payable. The very last page of the accounts payable, it says page 1 of 1. I was wondering why there's 3 items that are separate from the rest of them.
Probably the last bit of the year. Would these be for the last?
These are gonna look kind of funny for a while because of the encumbrances. I think she just put that on there because it wasn't including it on this report when she was calling it up.
Well, because it's dated at the first of the year, I wondered if that was a new year they had
It is, because a lot of them we have to put back into 2014, and that's, it probably just didn't call right on the report.
Thank you. I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Motion's been made by Councilman Latrell that we approve the consent agenda in its entirety, seconded by Councilperson Abel. Is there any further comment? No further comments. Mandy, would you take a roll call vote, please?
Abel,
Yes?
Brown,
Yep.
Gingler,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Audi,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Latrell,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next on our agenda is ordinance 2159, the electric rates. And the gentleman out in the last work session, we went over this again, talked about the electric rates and where we were and how they would affect everyone.
I so moved. Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Brown that we accept ordinance 2159. That's been seconded by Councilman Miller. Comments?
Yes, I just want to state that I'm still opposed to this completely because nobody has ever answered the question of if we're making as much money as we are, why we need to raise the rates now, at least not to my satisfaction.
Okay. Duly noted. No further comments. Manny, would you take a roll call, please?
Latrell,
No.
Richard,
Yes.
Gingler,
No.
Abel,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Audi,
Yes.
Brown,
Yep.
Miller,
Yes.
Motion carries.
This takes effect.
It takes effect this billing cycle, the January billing cycle.
Actually, February.
It'll first appear on the February bill.
Right. But it'll increase the
Yeah.
January rate. Next item on the agenda is the resolution 2015-1, the electric territory exchange with Rolling Hills.
Mayor, I have a couple comments on this, if I could. We've discussed this previously, and the reason we don't have a formal agreement with Rolling Hills is because to exchange territory, what we do is we do an application to the Kansas Corporation Commission. They have actually already signed their application to do this swap. This resolution you're just authorizing the mayor to sign the city's application. So they're done on their end, and once this is approved, then we'll move forward on our end. So there's no formal agreement because it really just comes down to doing these little applications, which are pre-printed, so.
And Katie, this is for the area east of Sunflower versus where Lucien owns up there.
Correct. It is 51, approximately 51 acres east of Sunflower, and then approximately 22 acres there along Highway 9, which was formerly the Lucien property, which is now Rolling Hills.
That's right out there by that Grove Road 9, that corner right there.
Right.
That's the end of the city limits there.
Did we get it straight that Rolling Hills will actually still have to pay a franchise fee to the city?
Yeah, I don't know, yeah, that's a good question, I don't know if that's, how that works legally or not, to tell you the truth.
Is that something that needs to be in that contract?
Well, we don't have a contract, so I guess if that's something you want to address, we can.
Well, I guess if we charge ourselves a franchise fee, I think everybody else pays one, I think it would only be fair.
Isn't that the point of the swap, is so that they're in their own electric?
Yeah, they're in our own
And
district.
So they're not drawing from the
But they're
city?
still
Yeah.
in the city limits.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're in the city limits.
There is
yeah.
That property is in the city limits,
Yeah,
and the other is
that's-
not.
Right,
Correct. That's correct.
right. See, that's the difference there, and legally, I don't know where that
Every
stands.
utility in the city limits pays a franchise fee.
We're gaining quite a bit just to have them located here. Pretty big bonus.
Well, I agree, but fair's fair.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is resolution
We need to
2015.
do that.
I'll make a motion that we
Okay.
adopt resolution.
The motion's been made that we adopt resolution 2015. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Brown. Any further discussion? No further discussion. Mandy, would you take a roll call vote, please?
Richard,
Yes.
Abel,
Yes.
Gingler,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Latrell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yep.
Audi,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes. Next is resolution 2015-2, unfit structures at 402 South Mill. Any questions or comments?
Have you talked to Charles lately, Chris?
Yes, I have. He again, has told me he intends to take it down, and he understands this process. What you're doing tonight is just setting a time and date for the public hearing. After this resolution is approved tonight, then it will be published twice in the paper, 2 consecutive weeks, and then 30 days hence, or 30 days after that, we'll have a public hearing on this item, in which the council is then order that the structure be removed, demolished or whatever.
Did you talk to him just lately?
Yeah,
Did he say anything about removing it or?
Yes.
Doing it?
yes,
Did he tell you when he could do it?
no.
Did you ask him when he could do it?
He said he could get it done by the time this process is through. But he's told me that before.
Well, I was gonna
That's
say,
the
this
second time I've
has been
seen
addressed
this.
before.
That has been, yeah, it has
Yeah.
been.
Well,
Okay, why are we addressing it?
It's my fault. When I brought it up to you here last fall, I held out because I thought he might be able to qualify for that grant. It's a commercial property, he does qualify, and I misunderstood that. So we're starting it again.
What does he want to leave it there for?
He just hadn't gotten to taking it down yet.
Yeah, but I mean, why would he want some of that grant money to fix it up? I mean, what's it?
Free money.
Yeah, but I mean, what's it
It could
to
be
use
to
for?
remove it, demolish, grant money. to
Just
demolish.
demolish it?
Yeah, part of
I thought
that
he-
housing demolition grant, but like I said, I didn't understand at the time, that was just for residential, and this didn't qualify for it, so. He told me he'd get it before Christmas, and that didn't happen, so here we go again.
Chris,
Sir,
I got a question here. Why are we after this little bitty building here? And you got a great big building right beside it, all the windows busted out and everything. There's probably 100 cats running in and out of it. Indoors, and we haven't done nothing about that, but we're after this little big building here.
right, yeah, one at a time.
Well, I don't know. It's gonna be a lot more cats because that's kind of like an overflow building there.
Yeah, many of those cats I know have been removed. It's part of the Humane Society's trap neuter return program. Those that were they were trapped, fixed, and relocated. I don't think the problem is down by the river. Cats have always been dropped off down there, so that may be a kind of an ongoing occurrence. But I know the Humane Society has been working awful hard to get those cats collected and relocated, rehomed. So, but
Can there be a way that you can get us a report on how that's going? And,
from the Humane Society,
yeah,
I can ask them.
okay. I'd like to know
Yeah.
how many they,
I think they're planning on coming and putting together,
Okay.
getting a presentation.
okay.
Yeah, they've actually asked me a few things, and I'm not just been behind in getting back to them, so I know they're working on some stuff, so.
I still think this passes and everything, whatever they're gonna do about it, we still need to look into the building just south of it.
All right. I haven't been doing a lot of the demo stuff until after this grant stuff gets out of the way. One, because the guy that does most of the demolitions around here is gonna be tied up for probably till warm weather. And And even if we ordered somebody to remove a structure, they might not have the resources to tear it down. So that is being able to hire somebody, to find somebody that will do that for them. So we've got a lot going on, and I wanted to make sure that we don't bottleneck everybody into one time frame here. But you're right, and I've talked to the folks that the structures around here that don't make this grant cut are going to get notices from us to do something with their unfit structures.
Chris, you recall on those two apartment houses over on West, what is it, Third, that we had so much trouble with?
Yes.
And one of the issues was that every kind of animal was going in and out of there. Now, is there something in the ordinance about that old light plant being secured where animals can't get in there?
No. I really have to kind of show that building is unfit or dangerous.
Broken windows and doors?
That doesn't necessarily make it unfit or dangerous. Unfit is pretty subjective. Dangerous or unsafe is what I'm trying to say. If I can't show dangerous or unsafe, which is very objective standard, black and white standard, then we start getting into the gray, and that's when Katie and I end up in court. So we'll be careful that we can defend this.
Well, I'd like to make sure that we're being fair and just to everybody in the city.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause we've got,
Because there's a lot of other places other than this building in Charlie's that we are having problems with and need to be addressed.
I move that we approve this.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Richard that we adopt resolution 2015-2, unfit structure at 402 South Mill, second by Councilman Brown. Any further discussion? No further discussion. Mandy, would you take a roll call vote, please?
Richard,
Yes.
Abel,
yes,
Gingler,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Latrell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yep.
Audie,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is formal action is the elevator electronic door edges for the municipal building. Any questions?
Are they gonna put a new door in, or what?
No, it's just kind of an edge, I mean, the picture, I guess, is a little hard to, it's not exactly a new door. It's just, it'll be part of it. I've never actually seen one of these myself, so I don't know what
Isn't that basically a requirement, Lynn?
Yeah, it is now. They're gonna make that a requirement for.
And so these are lights, kind of like a garage door.
Right. Yeah, it's a safety.
And the other door will still open and close. But if any of that barrier's broke at all with anything, then it stops.
Looking at this, what they want half their money up front before they come up to do the work, is that the,
That's what I understand, you know.
then the other half upon completion, is that the, is that correct?
Yeah.
and this gentleman that comes up here, and checks the elevator every so often. I know him and he does good work. And I think this company would do us right
They do our ongoing maintenance on that.
all the time, yeah.
Yeah, I dealt with them at the Porterhouse.
Yeah.
Really reliable.
I move that we go with this recommendation.
Been moved by Councilman Miller that we approve the elevator electronic door that was purchased. Second by Councilman Peterson. Is there any further discussion? No further discussion. Those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried.
So moved.
Next item on the agenda is adjournment. Mr. Brown moved that we adjourn. We have a second by Councilman Miller.
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
Yeah, can't have a question.
Lynn, I appreciate that report on the swimming pool. That was very good.
Any further discussion? Those in favor of adjournment, say aye.
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 Opposed, same. We stand adjourned. We'll go into the work session. Katie, do you have any, Katie, do you have anything?
I don't think so, no, not
Okay,
tonight.
Glenn, do you have anything?
No, nothing further.
Okay,
I'll make sure.
next thing is a discussion item is the fee schedule.
I called, when I got this, and the agenda, I called and asked today to have copies made for the council and the mayor that would show primarily some of the things that we're gonna discuss or talk about or change, so that people that weren't used to the bold and not bold, because when it came out, it didn't come out to where some of the things I didn't think we'd all understand. So I came and got them today. Jessica made them and I delivered them to all the council and the mayor, so that we have a little better idea of what we were looking at. And I hope that doesn't step on anybody's toes, but
Makes it a lot easier to pick out.
yeah, that's what I thought.
I have a question. On the ones that are lined through, are we not gonna charge for use of those anymore? We're not gonna let anyone use them anymore?
Are you talking about equipment?
Yes.
Basically, the ones that are completely slashed through, we must not have them anymore.
Must not have them anymore? Street sweeper?
Oh,
probably
well,
not.
top, yeah.
Well, that was what Click told me to strike from there, so.
What I'm wondering, my reason for my question is that most of this stuff was on the list to begin with because of FEMA, right? If we would have a storm, so that we would have something to go by for charging the use of it back to FEMA.
Yeah, you can do that, but FEMA has its own rate schedule. You can have any rate schedule you want. They have their own. I've been through this a couple of times. You can have your rates for anything. They will pay you what they're going to pay you on their own. They have a federal rate schedule for all that equipment. So you can adopt whatever you want.
And they just
They
make
will-
something up if it's a piece of equipment they don't.
No, they'll be on a list. I mean, it's a federal list that they've got, and they chart, and they will do that for the same for everybody. It doesn't matter where you're at in the country. What you've got is your fee list. They will pay you for what they've got on theirs, and that's it. So they won't pay you for what you got, what you adopted. They will pay you on their federal fee list. That's been my experience with them.
I have some questions about the swimming pool. What is our ideal average daily attendance at the swimming pool? Because I'm looking at 2012, we had an average daily attendance of 250 people, and we made roughly $90,000 at the end of the year. And then the following 2 years, that went down to 168, 64. And I was wondering, was 250 too many, 164 too small? Are we happy with 164?
Oh,
Wasn't that one
no.
summer, we had a cool summer?
Right.
I mean, that's the year before last.
Right.
And the one year's that, the first year, which we were overcrowded, I mean, we were
Yeah, so
slammed.
what's the ideal amount of patrons on a daily basis? Do you have an ideal?
I'm sorry, I don't, I mean, if they come in groups, you know, if you have a group there and they leave and you have another group come in, or if they stay all day, we have some kids that stay all day, so it really kind of depends on the weather and whether we have walkers or I mean, that, it really varies. I don't know, I mean, I can't give you an answer, sorry.
Okay.
Well, if there's no other questions, we'll move on. Next item for discussion is the electrical department wage increase proposal.
Oh, we had some, yeah, let's go back.
Okay, under operations, on second to last page. we've got water, and then we've got sewer, and then we have water and sewer, and then we have utilities, and then we have electric. Is there any way we could just have water, sewer, utilities, and have everything under those three?
Just, yeah,
The-
like
the-
put your, all your fees,
the
all
only-
your
like
fees.
have-
Yeah, the only problem you're gonna run into there is that not everybody has all of them.
That's all right,
But
Okay,
if you have one charge for all utilities, not everybody's gonna have
yeah.
all three utilities. So that's the reason why I break them out.
No, that's, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I mean,
Like,
have water,